I'm starting right now.
You want an investment edge, but all you hear is noise, hype, and half-truths. Every signal is solid information, but only if you can see the bigger picture. This is where the quasar magic happens. Weather, charts, news, all financial signals funneled into a single dashboard. Data alone isn't enough. Quasar Markets turns it into energy, sharp, clear, precise. Optimize with Quasar Markets today. Your edge when investing.
Okay, let's get right into it. Silver! I feel like, the Lone Ranger.
My goodness gracious, Howard. $51. I mean, you and I were talking this morning, and I was excited about $50, and now within the last 20 minutes, we're at $51 on silver. Oh my God! Like this is, and you and I were talking about this morning. Like, there's no stopping this. There's literally no top right now. Peter Schiff is taking a victory lap on gold. I think this morning I reposted it on my own Twitter. Gosh almighty, look, this should tell you everything. It should tell you everything, that the world is not that great, right? This morning,
well, I mean, and I will point out, Pete, we talked about this yesterday. Those that were here listening on the show, I called out silver, put up Peter Thomas's comment that if it broke 50, watch for a squeeze, up 4.2%, wow. Continuing to move to the upside here today. So congratulations if any of you took advantage. I hope you did. And as I said to Steve, you could see 55. You could see 55 here.
$55. So I mean, listen, I'll be dropping all my silver at 55. That's asinine. I mean, look, I get it that silver. We're about to break 51 here now. I think in a second here. Look, it's very simple. I mean, you don't buy gold and silver when the world's economy is doing great. You buy gold and silver when the world's terrible, right? And you saw the Wall Street Journal this morning talking about it, right? The alternative data on jobs is, quite frankly, really bad. They're talking about it right now, that the number of job losses and the number of people not able to get a job if they lose a job is very high right now. It's a mess out there. And I think, while we're in this middle of this government shutdown, which is another nonsense thing going on, come on, government. Yeah, there's no stopping this, literally.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it doesn't seem to be that way. And, I don't know that the markets are stopping either, Steve. The latest, independent investors survey, AAII, has hit a 45.9% bullish. highest since May of last year. That's a 17-month high. Investors are euphoric. We saw it on our Quasar, message board, right? Some folks saying, hey, since April, it's been nothing but up, 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 And with that being said, I hear you're beeping there, Steve. Gold just broke 4,000 again. Touch off of the highs after the Israel-Gaza ceasefire headlines cooled geopolitical premium. But BCA research notes the structural bull case is intact. Central bank demand, fiscal fears, diversification away from U.S. debt are driving this move. What's interesting, Steve, is how the relationship with real yields and the dollar has temporarily broken. Gold usually moves in reverse to real yields, but right now both are firm.
Yeah. I don't know where the investor sentiment is, though. I have to be explained to me. It's going to have to show to me, right? I've been doing this for 35 years. So somebody please explain to me why AAII is at an all-time high, or you said 17-month high.
17 months.
That's a pretty high. That's pretty silly high. But they're not always the right numbers, right? If you go back in 1997, they were at all-time highs then, right? If you look back in 2007 and 2008, they were at all-time highs back then. It's usually pretends to me, there it is, $51 now announced now on silver. Wow. I don't see it. Are they excited about AI? Great. Guess what? I was excited about AI 15 years ago, and now all of a sudden, now it's exciting. Okay, but now we see some new products out. Wow. Okay, I get it, but no. This could be just like the dot-com boom, and I think you're going to see some shakeout very quickly in this market. I think very, very quickly, to be honest with you.
Okay, so what I would have to say is we have the AI bulls in one corner. You got Goldman Sachs, Peter Oppenheimer saying valuations are elevated, but still supported by earnings and profit growth. And then we've got the bears. Jamie Dimon told BBC this morning he's far more worried than others and sees a 30% chance of major correction in the next 6 to 24 months. That's triple what most investors are pricing in.
Well, as you know, I went on Schwab not a couple weeks ago, and I made it very clear. I think a 12 to 17% pullback is going to be right. Why do I say that? Well, 10% pullback is just a normal, healthy correction. 20% is a pullback. That is in the correct territory. Jamie Dimon saying a 30% pullback.
That's a 30% chance of a major correction, which would be a 20%. Wow. So 20%.
God, 51.12 now on silver.
Yeah, it won't stop. It's this is the squeeze. This is exactly what this is what Quasar brings you guys. We brought you this yesterday morning. Yeah. We've been talking about silver for weeks and months, but yesterday we brought you. If it breaks 50, watch for a potential squeeze as banks are short. Banks are covering today right now, so they are on the other side of this trade. How quickly they unwind will be the question.
Yeah.
Does it get all the way? Wow. It just keeps going. Does it get all the way to 55 before that pressure comes off? Because it could. There's a lot of shorts, as Peter said there, and central banks are not short, so they have no reason to sort of manipulate this price. As we talked about, the Fed has stepped in anytime we've broken 50 or threatened to break through 50 in the past, including infamously when the Hunt brothers were about to corner the market on silver. They shut it down and then made them sell it in liquidated positions. And I pointed out and asked, and he said that this is the case. I asked if the current administration would find silver going to 55 a good thing. And he pointed out that the U.S. government measures the amount of silver we own in truckloads, not in pounds. That Cantor Fitzgerald and Mr. Besant's hedge funds were both very long silver, so that they would not be interfering with this move to the upside probably. 51.17, Steve. Wow. It's going to hit 51.25. This is crazy.
51.21 right now.
Yeah.
I mean,
can't stop, won't stop. I mean, those that want to know what a commodity squeeze looks like, this is what it does. It happens very rapidly, and when it hits, it doesn't. It's sort of unlike crypto, which takes elevators up and down. When this thing is more of a freight train, once it starts to move, the amount of money that's moving in these markets, and how much spot you have to back it up.
20 now. I mean, this
Right?
is not.
And Steve, would you talk a little to that, because the problem becomes who has enough silver to buy to sell to these people, right?
There's not
the actual physical.
There's
Yeah,
not.
that's what I mean.
Okay, so okay. I learned a long time ago. All right, how gold and silver works.
Here's the headline.
All right, I learned a long time ago how gold and silver works. You want to know when to sell your gold and silver? When you see commercials on TV telling you to buy gold and silver. The reason being is that they want to sell you their gold and silver at their high, because they know they've been holding it for a long time. They're ready. You're not seeing any gold and silver commercials on TV. They know it's going higher, right? You know when to buy gold and silver when you don't see anything on TV about gold and silver, because they are accumulating, right? Now, for me, I'm a person who just buys and holds and holds and holds. But this time around, I probably will be. I mean, this is nutballs how this thing's moving. This is crazy. I like this move. Is it sustainable? Probably, because there is the squeeze. But there's going to be a rush to it. So I call it channel checks. We talk about this all the time. You want to go channel checks? Go run by your gold pawn dealership or wherever you want to look at that. And the pawn, I don't want to call them dealerships in a lot of ways, because there's dealerships that do gold. They're happy right now, right? Go to a jewelry store and see what it's like. So how do you know when a real top is in? All right. That is when you see people going through grandma and mama's jewelry collection of all scrap jewelry, and they just collect it all and take it down to the local jeweler. And the jeweler puts it all together, and they try, right? They put it all together, they try to melt it all down and give you a price. And it's usually a little bit below what the spot price is, because they have to do all the work, right? Then they'll give you a ticket and you take your money, and that's how it works. When I see that, then I will know that the top is in gold and silver. But I don't think the top is in yet. Do we continue to push higher? I think so, but I don't. I mean, look, I was happy at 43.
Yeah, absolutely.
Most of you guys know here on the show that I bought a lot of silver through Peter Thomas at AU Secure. We have it right here on the platform if you want to do it. I bought at 19, not 20, 30, 40. Now it's 50, right? So I'm 120% return is pretty good return. So, why not?
Yeah, I mean, and I just put up CPER as copper is the other play that Mr. Thomas gave us back here about a month ago at the beginning of August, actually, when it was trading down at 27, now up at 32.38. He says going back to 36. I believe him. I'm in for the run to 36. But nice move up there. Also, Bitcoin struggling a little bit today, 123.3 here, Steve. Did come off the lows, looking better than the alts so far. Alts getting hit a little bit harder here than Bitcoin. Have seen inflows the last 3 days into the ETFs. So structurally, it's been looking pretty well there. DXY threatened to break above 99 here, Steve. Is this strength in the dollar, or is this weakness in the yen?
Weakness in the yen, and I'm okay with that. But I will say this much: you saw this morning where Bank of Japan movement here. So looking at dollar yen 152.44, I'm excited about that because I'm going to Japan. So I don't know what to tell you right now. The dollar strengthening is good for the United States, but it's really bad when they try to buy our products. So it's harder. I don't know. This is maybe a good time to go back to Tokyo.
And gold up 35 basis points, 40.54 here. Again, doesn't want to slow down. Doesn't seem like it's slowing down by any means. Now
we're seeing a sell off here in silver. We were at 51.20. Now we're at 50.83. So 40-cent move here. just like that. That should tell you a lot, right? That there are people on the sideline that are willing to sell. It looks technical. If you pull up a chart of silver and you overlay it, do me a favor there, Hondo. Put a 1 minute chart there on silver. You'll see what I mean by this. Yeah, you can see right there with that technical pop above the linear regression, and now right below it, the 50% pullback there on the linear regression. Now 50.69. So you'll see that's how fast this thing is moving, and that is not someone going out and a central bank and dumping silver. This is paper silver, right? This is trading. So this is kind of a technical move here. I don't see this being where a central bank is going out and just buying a bunch of silver here. I don't know if we talked about it yet, but if we talk about it from the perspective of geopolitical issues here, how about Hamas laying down now? The president made a pretty good move here, I think, saying we will obliterate your country and it won't be Palestine by the time we're done with it, and trying to create a peace deal out of this. And I think this is now finally one where even Bibi is okay with it. And I think Bibi's numbers are hit 28% approval rating at this point now. Nobody believes in genocide, so I don't care on either side of this. Both sides have now committed atrocities. So for me, I'm glad to see this. We need peace in the Middle East, but they haven't had peace in the Middle East for 3,000 years. Why anything different? I think what's interesting about this peace deal, if it all goes through, is they're creating now a line. Gaza Strip has always never been an actual physical line. In this new deal, there is an actual physical demarcation line where Israelis can put their troops, and I don't even want to recognize Palestine yet, but they can put their people and they can have a border. And that's what served very well in North Korea and Korea for a very long time. And I think the same thing here might actually be good, where they actually divide the Gaza Strip up. So this might be good. Israel can then they can start building again if they want to, or whatever they need to do there. And I think they can all be happy again. So let's pray for peace now as it's starting to break out there. I like this.
Yep, absolutely. The tick is up about 100 here. Right now, NASDAQ actually completely flat on the day. We don't see that very often. SPY up about 5 basis points. Dow Jones set to open up slightly up. VIX at 1630, so pulling back a little bit from yesterday's highs. Here we said gold at 40.50 and silver at 50.66 currently. Gainers and losers on the day here, Steve. AKRO on buyout merger acquisition, as you've talked about, especially within the healthcare industry, is a big one. And we do see that when Novo Nordisk is talking about picking it up. The structure is $54 cash and $6 CVR if their drug wins full U.S. approval. What do you think about this merger here, Steve? I don't know much about AKERO.
The mergers and acquisitions space is going to happen. It's going to continue to happen, especially in the biotech industry. If you look at companies that have a good cash flow, right, or they have been approved by the FDA a few times, even if a new company, they are going to be a target, right? Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Merck, these companies are flush with cash. And they're going to be buying up these little companies that are these, let's just say, novel drugs. When I say novel drugs, that means that they're building drugs for things that aren't an epidemic, right? They may be a specific, and it's cheaper to just buy that company than it is to do everything else, to do the R&D, to put doctors on it, to start the whole process. And they don't want to do that, so they'll just buy the company. And look, at 4.14 still on the 10-year, you're still looking at a pretty good deal here to borrow money to buy things. And these major companies have lots and lots of stock to be able to play with. So yeah, I'm not too worried about that. We're going to see a lot more.
Yeah, I do think you'll see a lot more, obviously. Delta Airlines, Steve. So despite the airports maybe being a little less busy than you thought they should be, they gave some good guidance today. They raised their full year guidance about $6. They said premium and corporate demand is doing the heavy lifting with early holiday reads looking good. Their load factors at about 86%. So Airline Basket's catching a bid. Delta up 7%, UAL up 5.63, American Airline 4.74, and I think Love was in here. Yep, there they are.
Wrong. I think they're dead wrong on this, because I'm gonna tell you, I have been through like every airport on the East Coast in the last 2 weeks, and the travel is down. Travel is way down. I just came through Tampa Airport, United Airlines, from Newark to Tampa. I went to go pick up my bags, and in Tampa Airport, you go through this really long escalator all the way down to pick up your bags. And normally that thing is just full of bags coming in from so many different areas, and there was only one. That was United Airlines, my flight coming in from Newark. I had never seen that before, Howard. I can tell you, travel is way down. So I'm not betting. If I were betting anything on this, I think I'd be betting against the airlines right now. This is not a good place for the airlines right now.
Okay, well, there you go. Steve's channel sec doesn't believe it. I tell you what's not going well is Ferrari having some problems today, down about 13% on their 2030 guidance, below street adjusted EPS and revenue. Their EV plan has been scaled back. 20% of the lineup by 2030 was supposed to be 40% originally, and their Electrica deliveries start in late 2026. What do you know? This is a little bit against all of the other luxury right now, right? Because luxury is where money is, we know.
Well, the first people that get hit during a recession are poor people, right? The second people that get hit during a recession are poor people. The third people that get hit during a recession are poor people, not rich people. They don't get hit. They don't care, right? And usually what they're doing is they pull back from their luxury brand buys. They take that money and end up buying things like stock as the market starts to pull back, as things happen. So they're making a very conscious effort right now to prepare for what's coming. And that's how you know that something's happening. But yet the retailer's still buying, and they're still buying calls over the weekend. I'll tell you, I talked to 4 billionaires at a party last night, 2 nights ago. What are you doing? What's everybody doing right now? And I'm holding court in this big party, and everyone said the same thing. We're playing options. And I said, okay, all right. Which side are you playing on? And it's like, we're selling calls. You're not buying puts? Nope, not buying puts. You're not playing spreads? Nope. We're selling calls. Wow, that is when you're trying to hurt some. You're really trying to get them. It's coming. So they're like, we are selling calls. And I said, okay, then what sector are you selling calls in? Tech sector. So this tech run might literally be over. And I'll tell you, the company that I'm looking at right now, Howard, is AMD. AMD might be over at skis this morning. I might be shorting AMD this morning on this run. Because I think AMD is, what's AMD now worth today? Market cap is
$382 billion.
Right. Now, there's this call that AMD is going to be as good as NVIDIA. All right. It takes 1,000 billion to make. It takes 1,000 billion to make a trillion. How much is NVIDIA worth?
4.6 trillion last time I looked, although it's up 2%.
You're right. That's
today,
12
so
times less than what NVIDIA is. So I'm sorry. This whole AMD and NVIDIA fight it out is nonsense. They're not the same company, not even close. Yes, they're run by families, same family, I guess, Jensen and Lisa, but they're not, right? And so I think AMD is a little bit over its skis here this morning, and I might be shorting here AMD this morning. We're 6 minutes away.
Yep, 6 minutes away from the open here. Other shakers and movers I was watching here, sorry. Plug continuing to move to the downside here, Steve, down another 6.7%. This is one here, dropped all the way from 458 to 341. Is there a point where you become a buyer in the plug?
No.
Me neither.
I
This is
think
one.
the problem is electric vehicles, right? There's a turn politically against electric vehicles. I don't like that. I think I have a hybrid. Everybody here knows I have an X5. I have a hybrid, and I think that's the key. But we need more power outlets. I just drove by our local gas station, and now half that gas station is no longer gas; it's electric, right? So I don't know. There's a bit of a pullback.
Yeah,
here.
my problem when you look at Plug is start to look at these financials, and they're horrendous.
Yeah.
And I mean, the company's never made money and isn't going to for a long time. Its net margin right now is negative 130.54%.
Well, a company not making money is okay. Amazon didn't make money for 20 years.
This isn't a newer company though.
Right. Well, Amazon didn't make money for 20 years.
This data goes back to 2019. So you're 5 years into your plan here. And you're still trending to the wrong side on these numbers also. They're not moving to the right side. And even your price to sales ratios are terrible. Yeah. So that that's the part is that there is when it comes to Plug, in my opinion. Other companies moving to the upside again, IREN. We talked about it here yesterday. I wanted to get into it. We tried to. We missed our entry over at Prosper. We had one set up. Continues to move back to the upside. It took the big dive yesterday on the news of a convertible bond. As you just said, sometimes that is not bad news. They are an early entry company who is using that money to build out the infrastructure they need. And bouncing back there now up about 3.59%, erasing all of yesterday's losses. Three minutes from the open, tick is down about 45 right now. Advanced decline at 1279. So much lower than we've seen one way or the other over the last few days. So we'll see what we get at the open here. Silver picking back up a little bit, seems to have found a floor at that 50-50 and now trying to move back to the upside. If you look at the Mag 7 again, NVIDIA up at 192.50 here, up another 1.7%. And on the other side of that, Tesla racing all of yesterday's gains, now down 1.4% here, Steve. Did see Tesla has an NHTSA probe opened, 2.9 million Teslers with their fully automated driving for alleged violations, including running red lights, unsafe lane changes. They've had 50 reports, 14 crashes, and 23 injuries cited in the filings. You think Tesla's got more headwind here?
I mean, it looks like, to be honest with you, Elon Musk has tied his pay to his stock price, and he's got money to buy his own stock up. So he's going to win both ways. No, I don't think so. I think he's buying his own stock. I don't care how bad the things get out there. He'll just keep buying his own company.
Okay.
I like Tesla. I like Tesla, but the Tesla's not a car company. It's a tech company. Everybody's got Starlink right now. Everybody's using. There's a lot of cool things, products that they're working on there, and I get it that Elon's not really heavily involved now in Tesla right now. I know there's a lot of people that will disagree with me on that. That's fine. He's working on a lot of other projects. He's a very busy man.
We are set to open here in about 1 minute. Tick is slightly negative, advanced decline coming back down to the downside here. Qs have moved slightly up, SPY slightly up this morning.
We are live, baby.
See what we get here.
Okay, so
looks like AMD selling off before you can get in there, Steve.
yeah, I'm working on it here, but I'm okay. I think AMD is pretty much.
NVIDIA trying to hold 192 here. Meta making a little bit of a rebound today. Rest of the Mag 7 on the downside. Tesla now down almost 2% on the day, threatening to break below 430 here. Tick is down about 115, advanced decline at about 800, so fairly neutral on the day. Dow Jones is up 4 basis points, SPY up 6. Qs are flat on the day. RUT pretty flat on the day also. VIX at 1636 has jumped up a little bit on the cash open. Gold sitting right about that 40-50 line, and silver back down at 50-50. Copper still surging to the upside, 32.39 on CPER here. WTI at 62.19 and Brent at 66 on the oil front here.
Ouch.
AKRO selling off a little bit here since the cash open, pulling back slightly, now up 17%. Same thing, we're seeing the airlines, a little bit of a sell-off here on Delta, UAL, and AAL here as we open up.
You suck.
Bitcoin at 123,350, so giving back some of those gains that it had made earlier this morning. Right back to the bottom of that linear regression on the short-term chart. And we see Ethereum rejected pretty firmly by the short-term VWAP there. Looks like energy, discretionary, and communications are down on sectors of the S&P. Rest of the sectors are actually in the positive. Energy up the most, up 93 basis points. Utilities up 40 basis points right now. Materials up 60 basis points. So still moving to the upside. DXY threatened to break through 99 again here.
And I have to take my money here. This is too crazy, Howard. Just got that sell off there in AMD. So congrats to you guys. If you were listening to me this morning, we nailed that one. Look at that sell off. And it's still gonna go. I thought that this morning. I thought this run here was a little crazy, and they're 234 now, 60 now on AMD.
Dow Jones up about 12 basis points now. SPY up about 4. Q's down about 10 basis points here.
Wow. It's a nice little run on the AMD thing here.
Nice.
$1.99 flat there. Oof. And look, if you've been watching the show, Steve Flanagan told you that we're going back up.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was bullish on dollar. Woo, there's Peter Thomas this morning. Here it is.
Yep, absolutely. Love it.
Now we've run from 51 to 50.36 here, and like all of that paper just got burnt off. So, there was some dumping of that paper here a few minutes ago. So it's not the only place, but
question is going to be, it should test 50 again.
Yeah,
should retest 50.
Maybe. I don't know. I think we go back up. I think it runs back up. At least today, I should say. I'm sorry, I should make that clear. MACD is telling me we're going to have a run back up here pretty soon. AMD looks pretty weak here on that pop up. It could drop even further this morning. Bitcoin 123.2 is really struggling here. This area.
Yep. Silver 50.25 looks like I said, I think it's going to retest 50.
Oh, there it is. AMD popping a little bit here.
NVIDIA holding up above 191 here.
It is. I just look at that. Yeah. Apple up and down almost 3% here. APP.
Tesla Plus popping back up a little bit here, now only down 1.2%. Had gotten as low as 429.28 before getting back up to 433 here. Quantum names are under stress.
Tick up 90 now.
DXY broke 99 there.
Yeah, Ferrari. They're talking about now on CNBC now.
Yeah.
We got Oracle now dropping here now. Looks like tech is getting hit here today.
Yeah, tech, like I said, quantum names are under pressure. Oracle news still has people a little bit wary there. Not surprising to see a little bit of a sell-off there.
Tick now up 200 here.
Fly, Steve, at 32.51.
Boo. I don't want to hear it. I sold too soon.
And again,
you still long? You still long, my man?
I am still long, up about 19.51, 19.6% right now.
Tick now up 220 now. Very good. WTI West Texas Intermediate now $62 a barrel here, 62.06. Yeah, look, oil's still cheap. That should tell you where the real economy is, right?
Tick picking back up, advanced decline picking back up, had gotten as low as 330, now back up about 800. So after the initial profit taking, we do see a little things moving to the upside. Silver at 50.14 here.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do think a healthy move would be a retest right here of 50 and then a bounce up, and then you watch out. Retest former resistance that now acts as support and acts as support is one of our favorites.
Gold dropping pretty heavily here now, 40.44 now, 40.43.
Yeah, a little profit taken, like I said here. Not surprising to see. I mean, although it is breaking out of your 1 minute. Oh, I forgot that's on 1 minute. That's why things look so weird. I look at a 3 minute chart. There we go. What's everybody buying out there today? What are you guys looking at? Anything catching your eyes?
I am watching Palantir here now at 182 here.
I'm going to shorten it again.
I mean, you know, I'm a big fan of Palantir, the company. I'm not a fan of the stock price, as everybody knows.
Right.
I think it's way out of whack. Wow, Kevin Warsh says that Jerome Powell has failed.
He wants that job.
He wants the job badly, right? But I mean, you don't say that out loud. Although this administration really hasn't.
They don't hold back. They don't care.
They don't hold back. Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to tell you how they feel. That's for sure.
And I have no problem with that. I'm kind of the same way, right? I'll tell you what's up. I don't slant things though.
Yeah.
Silver could be turning here now to the upside.
You got a lot of Fed speak today, by the way. Do want to mention that we've got them all speaking.
34.80 now. Yeah, it's Fed speak all week. How about Germany with their trade surplus, the largest in 3 months, as their imports really fall? Yeah, I thought that was very interesting.
I was watching Germany because they are the deciding vote on that data bill going through the EU. That is terrible. Looks like they're going to go on the side of common sense instead of craziness. Bitcoin threatening to break below 123. There it goes, below 123 again. So again, still weakness here. Looks like we're headed back to the morning's lows. That's what we've seen most of these mornings. Usually it's been at 10 o'clock, though. A little early today, so sell off a little earlier. Ticks negative 334 here. Dow Jones up 13 basis, but we do see technology definitely getting hit here, down 24 basis points. And we can see the MAG, and again, Tesla down 2.27% here. So getting hit a little bit, and everything not named NVIDIA and Netflix in the red on the MAG 7.
Yeah.
Don't look yet here, but I would have to assume that Palantir and Oracle moving to the downside. They are. Oracle down about 11 basis points. Palantir getting hit pretty hard here, since you mentioned it, down 1.53% now after being up earlier this morning. So seeing an extended sell-off here across that. Chips getting hit too. I noticed SMCI and a few others were in the morning laggards. And we do see AVGO, TSM, Qualcomm, ARM, Micron, all down more than 1 percentage point here. I did not notice if Amazon's released any numbers yet on their Prime days there that are just ended.
Oh, they did. I didn't get a chance to buy anything. I didn't even look.
You know, I was actually very good. I'm actually mad at myself though now. I was going to get a new monitor.
The best part about monitors and technology, it doesn't matter when you buy it because it's already out of date. So it's like,
yeah, it's going to be on sale again. They had some under $200 for 34-inch widescreen curved monitors, and I'm just going to replace 2 of my other monitors with another one of those and be done with it. And I just didn't do it, partly because I have a new computer coming, and I don't know if because it's coming from Prosper. I don't know if it's setup is, and I want to look at the ports before I do any more changing of stuff.
Nice.
So that's sort of what I'm waiting on there. NVIDIA 192.54 up 1.8%. So 2 stories in technology. Everybody else and NVIDIA, it looks like today, huh?
Yeah.
And literally the chip sector has them up and Intel's up about 40 basis points, and that's moving to the downside. And every other major, this is my watch list on the top right here, folks, has by market cap the largest chip producers, and only one of them not named NVIDIA in the positive here. That's Intel.
Copper
today.
is now $11,000 a ton. Oh my goodness gracious. AMD is still slipping here.
They all are.
Yeah. I had a feeling that today was going to be a pullback day. We're starting to see it now.
It's still pretty negative here, 435.
Bitcoin slipping 122.8 now. Maybe silver was the reason. Maybe silver was the reason it was pushing high. I don't know.
I think it's more that you finally, while they should have been listening to you, they're listening to Jamie Dimon and others as that news is hitting Wall Street Journal and Market Watch and CNBC, and more folks, like you said, more billionaires are feeling the same way, that things are a little overdone and they want money on the sidelines.
Well, there you go, Mr. Silver. Under $50.
Yeah, I said it was going back.
There it is.
Now, this is where you want to look. If it gets a nice little bounce from here, watch out above. So far, it's holding right at that 49.95 area. So it's matching up right with the 3-minute linear regression very nicely.
That's Wall Street for you. They know what's
up. Must come down. Remember that. Not seeing a lot of things that interest me so far.
No. I think the move in AMD this morning was the daily play. I think I killed it. So I'm gonna sit in the sidelines, I think, today.
It doesn't, we're not melting completely down by any means. Hey, Ron. In the Qs, every single dip still gets bought. So until that proves to not be the case, you got to have that as your philosophy.
All right. So Israel and Hamas have now signed the ceasefire and hostage deal. They have now physically signed it. So we're good.
Well, yes.
Whether they abide by it,
right? It can fall apart in a matter of seconds. And look at that, Q's right from that spot. Like I said, it did look like it. I don't know. I think this might have been a little bit of a bear trap there, Steve.
Might be.
It might have been a little bit of a bear trap. Just didn't, like I said, these dips just have been bought each day right now. Until they do, that's how you have to look at it, right? We've had the afternoon sell-offs. There's usually been, what it is there's no data. So after you get beat up by watching CNBC for 7 hours, you're ready to sell everything.
Wow. I like CNBC.
How I love it. I'm just saying, but that's, because then, because like I said, right now, the news story seems to bring doom and gloom in. So you're either,
but doom and gloom is what's happening right now. It's the truth, though.
The government shutdown is not going anywhere. And again, those that don't live in DC don't realize that when the 15th comes and those people don't get paid, that's when, it really hits the fan. That's when things really matter.
And they still got to pay their rent, and they still got to pay their bills.
Yeah, right. It's, and we're not talking about the furloughed workers. We're talking about the people that are working. Your FAA folks, your Border Patrol, your military. Look at that. Nice bounce on the Qs right there where I said. So that will be interesting to see if this can hold up now. VWAP is where it got
238.17 there on AMD. Do I do this again?
Bitcoin regained 123. Yeah, nice.
How do I do this again? Is the question mark.
That's the question. I mean, I'd be more looking to do it at 239.50, 239.70, not at where it is right this second.
Right.
Let it test that up. Let it test the upper edge of your 3-minute linear regressions right on right now.
There it is. Howard 239.35.
Got a little more. 70, I said. 80, I said actually. 80. Still going. And you still got a bullish divergence in trend direction working against you. So on the short-term chart.
And I am going to go short here again. 239. It's like 40. I am short right now.
Okay. Here we go.
239.36 is where I'm short. Let's see if we can.
There you are, right where I said. This is where I would short it.
There we go. Okay.
Look at that.
Right to the numbers, my man.
Man, you should be, fine tuning your. I could sign you up for a course. I can get you fine tuning those entries.
I appreciate that.
I'm just giving you a hard time, but again, you said it earlier. The 3-minute linear regression is what to watch. It's at the midpoint right here, so this could be where it bounces back up. This is where I'd be careful.
And I am now out, Howard.
Yeah, there you go. See.
Woo! How about that, Howard? How about that? Oh my God, Howard! What a short! How about that? Did it not once or twice today?
Yeah.
Pays to watch.
That one right there. For those that don't know what I'm saying, is we're watching right here, and I mean that's linear regression right there. That play, I said when it broke out the top, I would have done it. When it hit the midpoint, that's when you got to make your decision. There's a good chance it comes back down to 235.87, but this is the make or break it spot. Steve took his profit.
I did 2,000 shares there, 239.36, and then bought back at 237.74.
Q's down about 800 points here, still moving to the downside. Q's down about 16 basis points. SPY down 14 basis points. Dow Jones now has really fallen off, down about 25 basis points here. So let's take a look at the sectors, because they're definitely must be changing also, and they are. We now see XLY, which is technology, consumer discretionary XLY, down a full percentage point. That was not that case earlier. See real estate down slightly, financial sector down now, communications down, industrial sector down, materials down slightly, and as I said, technology down. So a little bit of a change here, hitting the Dow component harder than the Qs at the moment. SPY down about 15 basis point, down about 22. Bitcoin back below 123 here, 122.750, 122.4 or so. You have to start worrying about liquidations below. Ethereum unable to break to the upside either. So crypto seeing a definite sell-off here. Man, IREN up 5% here now.
I see.
Ooh, look at NVIDIA running, Steve.
Yeah,
up 2.9% here.
When people ask you, is it NVIDIA or AMD? And I say NVIDIA. Yeah. It's NVIDIA.
Now a $4.7 trillion company. That's why earlier I didn't answer.
Is that close to 153 here? Oh, we're back over 50 now on silver.
Yeah. That's a nice. This is a nice spot for silver now, because now it did do that. Bounce right at, used it as support. A 3-minute chart again, almost to perfection. Alibaba getting hit pretty hard here today, down about 3.66%. Little sell-off here. That's been about a 5-day sell-off here from the highs at 192 back to 174 here.
Well, you get rid of those beans, soybeans, and you're going to get hit.
Berkshire Hathaway back below 500 here.
50-20 now.
Man, Steve, look at that. Costco, I wanted at 900, just jumped today, 935. God damn. Was at 903. I got a little too greedy there for my entry.
People have been asking me what it is that I'm interested in now. If I'm rotating into sectors, which I am doing right now, I'm actually screening for some things here. I am screening for two things: natural resources and real estate. And those two things kind of go hand in hand. How does that happen? Well, natural resources being wood, natural resources being coal and energy and oil, and how we build houses. We build it with copper, we build it with wood, we build it with brick. So those are the kind of things that I'm looking at right now. Oh, why? Well, because people are going to try to go back into buying homes, and I think we're going to see a big run here in the next year or two. So I am looking at taking some of this profit that I made over the last few days and shoving it into some funds here.
Tick down 500 here now. Q's down 17 basis points. Dow Jones continuing to move to the downside here, down 27 basis points. SPY down 14 here, but it has bounced slightly up off the lows of the day. Same thing with NASDAQ. Rock down similar to the Dow Jones, moving to the lows of the day so far. And Bitcoin at 122.6, definitely at risk of liquidations here.
All right, so I am buying. All right, I'll put the. Let me see if I can get this in here for everybody. So.
USAR, as Ron said, is flying up. It was an early morning gainer here, now up 10.77%. There were a few others in there. Albemarle's up 7.35% here today in that sector. And Freeman at FCX, Freeport McMoRan, up about 2.47. So most of that sector is up in unison today. And the metal company I missed up a 4.06% also.
There it is. Okay, so I'm doing it now. I'll type in the ticker here.
PHM down about 3.74% here without much news.
So we don't tell anybody what to buy or sell here. It's not what we do. Never do that. But I am telling you what I do, and that is SWASX. That is Schwab's real estate fund. I have started a position in their real estate fund, and why is it this one? And I think it's a way to invest in other things like Welltower, American Tower as well. We can invest in a few other things around it. So I do like this. I like this fund here.
Awesome. Okay, Steve, we're at 10 o'clock. You've given everybody a good one to leave us with today. What do you think? Market up or down at the end of today?
Down. I don't see anything in this market at all. It's There's nothing holding it up, right? We're being held up, as I said earlier by one of my posts, chewing gum and baseball bats. I mean, it's terrible right now. Nothing's holding. Oh, there he goes. AMD is about to go negative here on the day. There's nothing holding this up, right? And so I'm rotating sectors now out of tech. I'm rotating it into like real estate and things that have been beaten up. So I don't like this market right now.
Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm looking at is defense stocks, if I had to guess, are down today because of, the Hamas and Israel deal. But I do think drone technology is still going to be used very much by the military, be very much built up. So I am going to look and see if that defense sector gets beaten down a little bit today on the news and take advantage of positive geopolitical news to maybe buy the dip in some of those.
Yeah. AMD about negative here.
Yeah. Everybody have a fantastic day. Marilyn, Ron, I can tell you, but that's a Schwab mutual fund. So no, you probably cannot. You should be on TOS though, because it is Schwab, which owns TOS. But Marilyn, I can answer you later in the room. Ron, you're a member also. I can answer you in the room if you need it. Talk to you guys later.
Bye, guys.